My name is Nikhil Sethi, and I'm the CEO of Adaptly. Adaptly allows businesses to reach their total target audience across the social web by taking their ad content and deploying it across multiple social self-serve ad networks instantaneously. Adaptly then goes into each ad network and gathers all the relevant data and delivers actionable insights to allow these businesses to continually improve the performance of their campaigns and ultimately their ROI. So I used to work for the small business, and through our marketing and advertising efforts, we quickly realized that our target audience existed all over the social web. Each of these platforms you see here have created their own self-serve ad networks that allow a business to come in, create their ad content, and instantly deploy it across that specific network's target user base. And in that sense, the social web is extremely fragmented, as each of these self-serve ad networks exists entirely isolated from the next. So at our small business, what we ended up having to do was to go to each of these self-serve ad networks, create an account, create our ad content, choose some targeting, choose a budget, and then rinse and repeat this process against each ad network that we felt our target audience was at. And what this does is creates two major problems. The first problem is experience. Each of these self-serve ad networks have their own methodology into producing the ads on that network, and these small nuances significantly affect how that ad is going to perform. The second problem is data. As each of these self-serve ad networks are completely isolated from the next, they all have created their own analytics suites, providing performance-based data on how many clicks they have, how many impressions were served, what the click-through rate was, what the conversions was, what the total budget was. And to see on the full landscape of how your ads are doing becomes very, very difficult. So how are businesses solving this problem now? Well, at our small business, we had an extremely innovative solution. We ended up hiring a full-time MBA student to come in, log into each of the ad networks that we were supporting, and copy-paste all of that data into Excel. And this Excel sheet here, she was controlling 65% of their ad budget and sorting, doing some very high-level sorting and analysis to figure out where they should deploy the spend, what was working, and what wasn't working. Enter Adaptly. Adaptly aims to do three things really well. The first thing is deployment. Adaptly takes a business's ad creative and asks two simple questions. What are you advertising, and who do you want to reach? Adaptly then takes that creative and with previous performance history on product type, figures out which networks that ad should be served on. Allows a business to choose the networks that they want the ad to be deployed on, enter some simple budgeting information, and Adaptly instantly deploys that across all the supported self-serve ad networks. Adaptly then goes into each ad network, grabs all the relevant data in real time, but instead of giving it to the business in very complex charts and graphs and tabular data, Adaptly breaks that down into human-level insights, saying your Facebook campaign is not performing well, your LinkedIn campaign is, you should switch all your spend from Facebook to LinkedIn. And then allowing them to make those specific actions and see how the actions are affected on the performance of that campaign directly from the interface itself. So as Steve had mentioned, that we launched about 2.5 weeks ago, and we've gotten tremendous traction. Currently, we are supporting about 300 plus customers that range from small startups to large advertising agencies to Fortune 500 companies such as Hallmark, Atari, the DCCC. And we're growing extremely quickly, actually so quickly that we can't actually support all of our customers right now. We're looking to raise $500,000 to accelerate the customer acquisition cycle that we produced, support additional ad networks, as well as where it becomes very interesting, going cross-platform, as self-serve interfaces exist for not just the social web, but for the mobile advertising industry, for the print advertising industry, and many other offline video and radio platforms. We're also looking to dive deeper into strategic partnerships to get better distribution of our platform and existing marketing companies and other tools that are out there that support small to medium-sized businesses. The team consists of myself, Nikhil Sethi. I founded a previous company in college called Blurt.com, worked at HBO in the Emerging Technology and Research Group, and also at True Ventures here in San Francisco, an early stage venture fund. As well as our CTO, Garrett Ullum, who comes from Northwestern University in computer science and has worked at the Intelligent Information Lab dealing with complex billion-row sets of data. As well as a suite of advisors from David Herscott with an agency background who's sitting there in the back, as well as people from individual ad networks, such as the Facebook ads team, the LinkedIn ads team, and the Reddit ads team, as well as analytic experts from the founder of WebTrends back in the 2000s. So that's Adaptly. We basically take a business's ad and deploy it all over the social web.